Hi there, good noon and welcome to another session of Maharashtra CET. And in today's session, our focus area is grammar. So if you happen to have any question, any concern about grammar, please go ahead and ask, and I'd be more than happy to hear you out and hopefully provide a solution to you as well. So you know that we have these two series running parallelly, 100 questions and this one. So in this one, we just pick up one particular area, we dig deep and then we talk more about it. So if you're new to BYJU'S exam prep, please make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. We keep on bringing a lot of sessions for you, a lot of sessions. And that is why pressing that bell icon to enable notifications is also important. My name is Vikrant. I am your personal coach for all things related to English and communication. I also dive into the psychological aspects of preparation and I keep sharing a lot of tidbits with you. So here it is. Another one that I very firmly believe in. So there are times when we get blinded by our alliances and our affiliations. And when you live in a particular ecosystem for a few months, you tend to take everything uncritically, unquestioningly. And throughout my life, I've practiced that, I would not like to be involved with a particular ideological group for more than a year and two, so that I can at least have a third person perspective as well. And the reason is this: your assumptions are your windows on the world. You see the world through these, right? And if you are not checking those assumptions, if you're not ensuring that only the correct ones remain in your mind, then you may end up getting misled, and that will be a real tragedy. So Harshit, Shreyansh, Prateek, very welcome. Hetansh, you too, man, you too. Prathamesh, good afternoon. And once again, a quick reminder that the tentative dates for the exam are 9th and 10th of March. So it is likely to happen over 2 to 3 days across multiple slots. The last date of the application has been extended to 12th of February. So in case you are somebody who still has not applied, well, this is your chance. You have today and tomorrow to wrap it up. This is the kind of target score that you typically have in mind, and in order to enable you to achieve that target score, we have launched a dedicated crash course for Maharashtra CET with, as you can see, a lot of attractive features, okay, and at a very attractive price to boot. And 19th of February, what is special about this? This is going to be the date in which our All India Open Maharashtra CET mock goes live. So if you are a serious aspirant, I think you obviously have to sit for this particular test, right? So let's dive into the VARC section. So you get RC and you get, of course, all these other question types, right? Parajumble, synonyms, antonyms, verbal analogy, fill in the blanks, and the area of focus today, which is grammar. So in the exam, of course, there are different types of grammar questions. I think I will manage to take you through almost all of them today. I'm saying almost all because there is a particular question type that I have used in my series of 100 VARC questions, but I'm not using that today. I'll let you know which one, so that I could accommodate those other things. And you can, of course, join me in for that question type as well during our other series. So let's start with the grammar questions. And the most conventional, the most frequently used method is where you are given a sentence divided into some parts and you're asked to identify the error. So the first 5 questions are along those lines. Please read the directions, familiarize yourself with this, and then we will dive into our questions. Harshit, I would call it less of a motivational quote, more of a life principle for me. And that's actually very challenging to do. It can be very unsettling too. but that's how life is, yaar. Can't help it. Read the directions. So here is your question number 1 on the screen, and the clock is ticking. Shameless plug for your English teacher. Okay, so in this particular case, our answer should be option C, and the reason is, you notice this then. This then basically tells you that there is a comparison, and whenever there is a comparison, we are supposed to use the comparative degree. So on Valentine's Day, you would probably look at somebody and say, no one is prettier than you are, no one is more handsome than you are, right? Similarly here it should be whom I can consider more knowledgeable than my English teacher. So that is why, so we needed that more. Instead of using the comparative degree, the sentence ended up using the positive degree of the adjective, and that's what is wrong with this particular sentence, right? Here is the next one. Question number 2 on your screen. The clock is as usual ticking. This is a challenging question. Now you notice there are a lot of different types of grammatical errors that exist. So there are errors of grammar, the standard grammar, okay, the conventional, more frequent grammatical error kind of errors. Then there are these errors that are related to structure, and then there are these errors which are related to the usage of a word. You know, every sentence should also have the correct word being used. And within that error of usage, one of the errors that we get is the error of redundancy, which is technically called a tautological error. So if somebody is greedy, it automatically means it is for money. So this is redundant. For example, should I give you some more? Okay, here is one. Free gift. Isn't a gift always free? Okay, I very recently got a new phone, and I clicked someone's image using that phone, and that person looked at it और इसमें ना मतलब फोटो में पीछे का बैकग्राउंड कितना अच्छा आ रहा है. So what's wrong here? पीछे का background. Of course, I also remember this our legendary cricketer. I have tons of respect for him, Kapil Dev. I used to hear him commentate as well, and he used this peculiar phrase occasionally, and that's बल्लेबाज ने बड़ी ही खूबसूरती से गेंद को गैप के बीच में खेल दिया. गैप के बीच में. आपके बालों का हेयर स्टाइल बड़ा अच्छा है, आपकी गाड़ी की आगे की हेडलाइट टूट गई है. These are all tautological errors. There is redundancy there, and that is why our answer here should actually be D. We just need to remove this since he is a greedy man. That suffices. Should I tell you one more very common tautological error? I'll not explain it. I will leave you to think it over. You can get back to me on this if you want to. Respected sir. ATM machine. PIN number. Another very commonly used thing in the exams is something like this. Look at this. And now tell me, AM and in the morning, will that work? Unexpected surprise, large in size. Here is another one. I've heard people say, I love the smile on your face. You just say, I love your smile. Where else would you have your smile except for your face? You've heard of end result. All of these are tautological. Okay, so I hope that helps. So here is the next one for you on the screen. It's slightly longer, so I'm giving you a 10-second head start. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's look at it together. Just as the behemoth machines of the Industrial Revolution made physical strength less necessary for humans, the information revolution allows us to complement rather than compete with the technical competence of computer. Now you either say a computer, singular countable noun, put an article before it, or better still, you use computers, which sounds better because the other part of the sentence is using a plural noun. So I'd actually prefer this. Not that a computer will be incorrect, that will also be right. Computers can make it even better in terms of sound, and therefore the answer must be option D. In case you have any query, question, concern about any of these other ones, don't hesitate to ask. Here is the next one. Question number 4 on your screen, and your clock is ticking. So this is one of those sentences where the issue that you see is an issue of the structure. Now tell me something. Consumer culture, you can practically think of it as a single word. It's not a single word, it's a compound one, but consumer culture, it's like saying rocking chair. You know, you'd practically think of them as a single word. Car park or car parking. So this thriving should actually come before, and that is why our answer to this question must be D. A is all right. I can understand some of you probably looked at it. Let me just look at it again. A cursory look around us. So this is the noun, a look around us. Cursory is even if you look at it superficially. So that's an adjective here. And that's basically it. So that's fine. Makes it clear that this cannot possibly be true. Otherwise, it's still fine. I think even the punctuation, etc., everything is spot on here in C. What could you see? What did you see that I'm not able to see which can be wrong in C? This cannot possibly be true. That's fine. So D on the other hand has a very clear structural issue, and with that, here is the fifth and the last question of this type. And your time starts now. So, have you heard of something called parallel structure, or simply put, we call it occasionally parallelism? So it's a very simple grammatical concept which says that if you are putting similar ideas in a sentence, you need to give them a similar outward appearance. They should have the same grammatical terms used. So considering that we're using to target the mosquitoes, then after or instead of providing, we would ideally like to provide. And therefore, the answer here should be D. B is all right, nothing wrong. Okay, I just saw this. Hang on. It definitely has a problem of parallelism, but then you have removing and providing here. Ooh. So in that case, the answer can be A. But then, D actually happens to have a bigger issue, and that is this preposition. So instead of for, it should definitely be with. So parallelism is more of a style thing. It is incorrect. Yes, we need to make all the three as gerunds or infinitives, but the preposition definitely needs to change. And if I were to compare, then the error of preposition is a bigger error, so I'd still go ahead with D. Although ideally, I would like to change A as well, target to targeting. So preposition trumps parallelism, and thus D still. Okay, so that's question number 5, and here are the directions for the next set. So you'd get three questions where you get a sentence written in 5 different ways. Your job is to choose the sentence that is grammatically correct. So that's another variety that we can get in the exam. So here is the next one. So what's your take? So if I look at this sentence, the problem of social, now that's an adjective, problem of social what? So this is wrong here. The problem of sociality arisen. That arisen is wrong here. By the way, what is sociality? Sociality typically can have two meanings. So one meaning of sociality is the fact of living together in an organized way as a society. Okay, so for example, with highly social species like humans, our complex sociality is the reason for our success. So that's one. And the other meaning of sociality could be the activity of meeting and spending time with other people for pleasure. So they formed the group to promote sociality among teachers. So that ways. So sociality works, but arisen is wrong here. Then let's have a look at C. The problem of sociality arises, that's right, because of three contingent and permanent features of the human condition. Contingent and permanent. I see the difference between B and C is but versus and. So they should actually be antagonistic. They should be contradictory. Contingent and permanent are not the same. So this conjunction won't be right because of three but features of. Okay, then let's have a look at D. That's grammatically correct. E uses contingents, which is incorrect. So the best answer should be option D, which I think some of you have definitely shared. Challenging. There you go. I usually tell you that Maharashtra CET is an easy exam, but then it is also an inconsistent exam. So on the whole, yes, it leans more towards being easy to moderate, but there have been instances when the questions have turned out to be very difficult. And that is true even across slots. So that's tragic. There you go. Here is the next one. Go ahead and give it a shot. Shall we dive into it together? I think I'm sure all of you have managed to look at this and say, "Arre, that's classic, should be there." Another parents, nah, it should be either another parent urges their children or his children or other parents. You won't use another, so that's wrong. What does that leave you with? Other parents. So C says other parents urge their children to pursue whatever. C is all right. D, that and they make the sentence incoherent. Their children that pursue whatever they are. That's a little weird. E, parallelism. Academically, should be academics. Noun. So this is also wrong. And therefore, our answer should be option C, which I think all of you have managed to spot. So no worries there. Here is your next one. Ooh. Now this is going to tax you a lot. This is a very advanced level of question in one regard, in one respect. It all boils down to which one is better. So I'm sure you've ruled out A. Instead of where, it should be was. B, passive voice. Why? What does it refer to? Can be ruled out. Those can be ruled out. Now, what is the difference between D and E? That's where it all boils down. Maybe versus might be. So, what is the difference between may and might? So, may and might both can be used to indicate possibilities. So, both indicate possibility, but the difference is may indicates a higher or a distinct possibility, probability, chance, whereas might indicates a low probability. So for example, if I say it may rain, then I believe that the chances are fairly high and it will be prudent to carry an umbrella. On the other hand, if I say it might rain, then my opinion is that, okay, it theoretically can, but I don't think the chances are very high, and therefore even if you skip carrying an umbrella, you should be all right. So here, look at the next part. The conclusion drawn is there is no single best option. So this requires a higher probability of something else turning out to be equally good. So that will make this conclusion better, and that is why D. So it kind of combines logic with a bit of grammar, and that's a killer combo. So D and E both are grammatically correct, but then since we can choose only one answer choice, it has to be the better one of the two. So logically, D is better. The higher probability is better for us. Okay, so with that, let's dive into the next set. So you're given 4 statements. There may be some errors. Mark the incorrect statement as your answer in this particular question. So see, in the previous one, it was the same idea captured in different ways. In this one, you notice that all the sentences are different. You are supposed to choose the one which is incorrect. What makes it difficult is that you also have this E as your answer. So go through each one of them carefully and tell me what you would like to mark as your answer. Okay, so shall we? Enough time for this? for all of you to contemplate and go ahead and think. All right, so the correct answer here is D. Teaching them and then involving them, not involve. So D is definitely incorrect. The other sentences are absolutely all right. So E is also ruled out. So that's it basically. And then there can be another side of the same presentation where you can be asked for the correct sentence. So in this one, you are looking for the sentence that is grammatically correct. So out of 4, either all are correct or 3 are incorrect and 1 is correct. So what do you think you would like to choose? Okay, so shall we? Okay, so option A. Oops, pressed the wrong button. Has had. That shows that it is past perfect tense, present perfect tense, whereas it is not present perfect. The 12 Reserve Bank oversee the banks, oversee the regional member banks, protect regional economy, and ensure that the public has clout in central bank decisions. So that's what is wrong with A. How about B? It shouldn't be by, it should be through. So wrong preposition being used here. Third. Ooh, that's a typical subject verb agreement. Staff collects. Is D all right? Yeah, D is all right. And therefore, our answer here should be D. So I'll go with D. So they're not acquired by monetary policies, they're acquired through the policies. Right? So I hope I have given you enough pointers for this question. So now let's move over to the next one. So there are times when you get these fill in the blanks that are based on grammar. I've used some easy ones in the past. I saved some tough ones. You notice the theme today is to take you through a difficult set. So here is the next one. So you have a blank. Can you decide on which part will be the most suitable for the blank? Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this now. So the answer here should be option C, which I think most of you have managed to pick up, and therefore that saves me the trouble of explaining it. I love these situations. Okay, so here is the next one. Man, 100% accuracy. Damn. So what's your take on question number 12? Okay, so far the theme that is emerging is B versus C. So C says as the discrepancy between the social classes was diminished. If it gets diminished, why would they be living in separate areas? So C contradicts it. This will not work. And therefore, B over C. Zilani, sir, do you remember me? Zilani, I do remember the screen name, yes. But I wish we had met so that I could say, hey, I remember you. But yaar, screen name to yes, I do. So if I have to choose between B and C, B is the correct one. I'm really glad that you've managed to rule out the other two. And here is the next set. Read the directions carefully. These are questions that were used in Maharashtra CET during 2017-2018. So what they did was they gave us two sentences. Those two sentences were followed by three openings for those two sentences, where the game, where the rule, where the ask was pick up the opening that can help you join those two sentences and make them one. So we will solve one of these two questions together because you may not have seen these earlier. So notice, so a few weeks ago, Swiggy had posted a gibberish tweet from their official handle. It sparked a debate among foodies. Full stop. They took shots and came up with wild guesses. So now, which one of these can start a sentence that allows you to capture both of these into a single sentence? So which one would do that? So if I start with foodies took came up with guesses, that's grammatically incorrect, so ruled out. If you start with C, Swiggy had posted a gibberish tweet, how would you really be able to connect these? But if I use B as my beginning, just the way they have done it here, and I change this they into who, then that allows me to connect these together and form a single sentence. So that replacement can work. The other two do not provide me with a path towards converting them into a single sentence, and therefore in this question the answer should be B. So this can be a bit challenging, but you at least know what to do, right? At least you are getting familiarized, acclimatized. So here is a question where I want you to think on your own and share your answer. Oh, Zilani, that's good. That's good. Go ahead and prepare. Megha, that will be a wonderful idea. Do that, no? Do that. Oh yeah, somebody from my team, if you're listening in here, can you float the link that take us to that page? Or maybe get in touch with Megha. हाँ मेगा अदरवाइज एक बार वो कर लेना, बायजूस एग्जाम प्रेप ऐप पे जाके टॉक टू काउंसलर, नहीं तो वेबसाइट पे जाके एक बार सर्च करना महाराष्ट्र CET प्रोग्राम एंड you'd find the link. Okay, hopefully that should help. Okay, so for question number 14, the first sentence describes a process and the second sentence provides the conclusion of that process. So they can be joined easily using a relative pronoun which. So the new sentence can be, the great part about packaged milk is that the aseptic packaging involves transferring the treated milk into pre-sterilized packages in a sterile environment, which means no risk of contamination. So the correct answer here should be A. The others will not provide us with that path of combining these two together. So here is the next question. So a lot of you have actually managed to get this right. So you notice the ideas, that at times gives you a strong clue. So in the first sentence, so in fact the second sentence gives you the reason for the outcome that we witness in the first sentence. So the second gives you a fact that is the reason behind first. So first part is sort of the outcome of that effect, and that is why B should work in connecting these two. So that's what I've brought for you today. Don't forget to like this video, and once again a reminder that we have a fabulous Maharashtra CET program where you can work with us much more closely and cover all the concepts as well. And once again a reminder that 19th February is starting the All India Open Mock for Maharashtra CET. Do attend it and benefit. That's it from me today. I look forward to meeting you guys in the next session together. Until then, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch. Have a great day. Have a great day ahead, great Sunday ahead, and I'll see you soon.